Hey everybody, January 20th, 2024. So my phone lines are getting a little overloaded. A lot of calls. Kind of like the energy between earth and sky. And everything in between is getting a little over-marinated. It's getting a bit cooked. And it's feeling uncomfortable. It's feeling bizarre. It's making people feel like they need to run, but yet they're sitting still. They need to stretch, they need to move, they need to figure out how to get away from this accumulation of bizarre feelings that seem very acute at the moment. And some are critically acute. They like to just open up the window and jump right out, energetically, physically, mentally, emotionally. But then there's a voice that's saying, hey, you came here to ride this monster. It's monster roller coaster. And you're going to do it. And you're going to succeed. Because we're taming the beast within us. We're taming the exterior beasts around us. Because this is the lifetime to triumph. It's no more the losing battle that has occurred in other lifetimes. So it's giving people that jittery agitation of, I just want to jump out of my body. It's an unknown feeling that doesn't seem to have an end. And so that's why I was associating it before with anxiety and panic and so on. And when you're in those stages and your brain is being flooded with adrenaline and cortisol, and those are your run like hell chemicals, it's really hard to find that little spark within you that says, hold up, hold up. This isn't my reality. I'm safe. I can trust where I am. I'm okay. This is an old programming that's coming up to be cleared and released. I don't need to do anything stupid. I don't need to self-inflict. And I don't need to afflict others by my inability to control my actions. And so it's happening to everyone. Whether it's in one degree or another, it's happening. And that's why I've been saying it's time to show some compassion and love for others. Because you don't know their story. You don't know if you're going to be that last straw on the camel's back. And then you're going to be responsible for breaking someone, triggering them beyond their own control, which may then inflict harm upon you. Could be mental anguish because you knew what you just did and you didn't think first because you just sparked it. And it could be because you feel badly. And it could be because you're actually in harm's way because you've triggered something that you could have taken a moment to stop, drop, sit, connect with breath, and align yourself and see things from a place of, okay, I'm okay. I'm going to need to be the calm in the storm. I'm going to need to be that deep anchor. I'm going to need to be that column of light. And I'm not going to fall over. And I'm not going to be falled upon. I'm going to be okay. So I'm not going to harm others, and I'm not going to allow harm to come to me. So there's a lot of things going on planetarily right now. And in these planetarial changes, Pluto the Bruto is getting real pseudo. And so whatever the reason, put that on mute. Because whatever the reason doesn't take away how it's affecting you in this moment. just because you know the reason it's occurring. So it's creating sometimes this deep, deep ache and pain. And it could be deep in the wells of your heart, making you feel lonely and vulnerable, scared, and sensitive and teary-eyed. It could be the opposite. It could be enraged. It could be deep bodily pain. And Spirit was showing me this morning, it's like your guides are using a spiritual laser on all these areas, and they're working on your behalf to bring some things up and out of the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and etheric bodies. So the laser is trying to eliminate and remove and dissolve some of these core issues. But when they come up, we have a tendency to get mad because why am I aching and doing all this when I'm doing all the right things? What is happening? And then you start to blame it on all kinds of situations. Or you'll reach for the closest over the counter to try to assist. And I'm not saying those things are wrong. If you're in such acute pain and you need something to coast through, to take the edge off, please consult your physician and you do what you need to do for yourself. I have no skin in that game. I do what I need to do, and I think nothing of it because I'm not seeking other people's approval of what it is that I do to help myself maintain some sort of homeostasis. But the flood of emotions are really, really bubbling. So someone might look out and they see that your upper current looks pretty easygoing, but you've got a lot of undercurrents and some undertows going on below the surface. And those are the ones that are redirecting the energies. Those currents are there to be brought up and to be looked at, but also to trust that your guide team, your healers, your teachers, your divine source, the God creator, whatever you choose to call it, is here doing spiritual laser therapy. You are receiving spiritual laser therapy. Mother Earth is bringing up the laser therapy. Father Sky is bringing down the laser therapy. They're bringing things up to the surface so that these debris, these infections, these things that create pain and angst and problems and dis-ease within the bodies are being able to come up, to be cleared. And they all don't need so much of a deep dive. However, I have found in my own personal experiences, sometimes the deep diving into certain things that are the primary of what it is of my list of symptoms. If I can dig into that a little bit through regression work, that always helped me until I was able to actually become a regressionist and help others. And I can see how it can just take some of the bumps out of the waves and settle your oars and your boat down. So you're feeling, okay, that makes total sense. All right, well, here comes the next wave. Oh, I got this. Because I don't need to go into a deep dive on that. It's still just some of the ripples of some of the things that I'm working on. We're in an ever-loving shift of who we are into what we are. We're in a shift of who we are into what we are. So we're not becoming something. We're actually shifting into what was already here without all of the the labels and the layers and the programs and whatever you want to call it, that has basically removed your original source self from your sights. So a lot of these laser spiritual therapies that are going on are dissolving, resolving, and sending back to source these coatings that prevented you from sensing and feeling even a minute part of who you are. Because you already are. You're just removing some of the shelling, some of the armor, some of the blindfolds, so that you're receiving and sensing and recognizing the light energy in a different way before all of this stuff occurred that had you feeling so far removed from source light. Does it make sense? So you're stepping into who you actually are. So do what you gotta do to tame down the inflammation that is coming up to be released. The inflammation is unclogging the pores so that the blood can flow more evenly and in a surge that has strength and confidence through every vein and artery and vessel, nourishing and feeding and cleansing and clearing everything within the physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional, etherical body. And if it gets really acute and critically in pain, that it's just changing your personality so badly, you're not even liking hanging out with you, then look into some sort of bath, whether it be Epsom salt, sea salt, whatever that is. Look into supplements. Look into what would be the best nutrition to feed your body. What type of water would be best for you at this time. Water could be fresh juice, could be coconut water, it could be an electrolyte pack, it could be vegetable juice, it could be anything. And then, of course, remember to bless it so that the molecules within it assimilate better with the molecules within your current state. Because this is a gradual change that is occurring. You don't need anything abrupt to give it that shock therapy. Although I've been ending my showers with ice cold water. Whew, dog, takes me a minute. I don't have the opportunity for an ice bath, and I'm not so sure I'd do it. I'm just not so sure I would. But I don't need all of that. I gradually turn down the water. And as I'm massaging my body and I'm moving and I'm making noises, I'm adjusting. I'm not, which is what really happens. People shock and they freeze up and they lock up. So here's my point of all of this. You do what you need to do to maintain you. You do what you need to do to maintain you. You're not asking for approval or permission from anybody, even your spouse. You do the best you can do to incorporate as much of that love into anything that you're doing for people in your home domain. Children, your pets, your spouse. That maybe you're taking the time to be the beautiful white witch that you are, meaning you're a beacon of light for the divine. And so you're changing the molecule structure of something and handing it to someone else so fortified with so much love. And they don't necessarily have to know what you did. You're just loving it. In every hug, you're incorporating and emanating more love from who you are. Because these layers and all these obstacles that have been clung on you are now falling off. And that's what's creating the weirdness. It's like, I'm not used to that, right? This feels different. Well, it's because you're truly in the metamorphosis stage. You're truly, truly, truly in it. Let the wounds and the pain come up and say, hey, hip joint, I feel you. I love you. Okay, let me put my hand there and just bring in some more synovial fluid, some more oil to those joints. That's right. Okay, bloated belly. I've been kind of taking in some things I probably shouldn't, and more of it than I should have to begin with. I love you. Thank you for telling me that you're uncomfortable. I'm going to slow my roll and my pie hole at the same time. I'm going to make better choices to get my system to be as efficient as it can be under the circumstances, my friends. I'm going to operate this vehicle under its current circumstances, its current terrain. And it's going to require me to maneuver a little bit differently because I am the commander of this physical avatar. I am the commander of my emotional components, my mental components, my spiritual components, and anything energetically. I get to say, because I'm aware and I'm living in my conscious frontal, I'm here at attention in the moment, taking in, communicating with that, what I'm taking in, and I'm responding in accordance to that communication. So I'm going to operate my vehicle a little differently during these times of obvious need. Because I'm not going to blow up. I'm not going to implode on anyone else. I'm not going to explode. And I'm not going to exit this planet if it's not my time. Because I was unable to get a hold of my own steering wheel and control my vehicle. Because what I do to me can cause harm to everyone. And so if what I can do to me and I'm in the commander seat, I want to create some more love. I want to create some more gentleness, more calm. I want to be able to reach my hand out and say, I'm strong enough. I've got you. Call me. Yeah. Without overloading my wagon and tipping over. Because I'm taking the time to take care of my vehicle so I can be the best that I can be to me and to the all of me's everywhere, which is you. The all of me is you. The all of you is me. And the sooner we understand that, the more we're going to be able to move forward and trust that we're A-okay. All right? Please like, subscribe, and share. Please leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. By all means, if you would like to have a session just to do a little checkup on yourself, embodimentofthesoul.com. I love you. Bye.